everybody roll a d20 for me. Um, Amanda, are you able to roll? Is Amanda there? Hello?
No idea.
Okay. Well, let's have Fammal. Fammal, go ahead and answer the question. What, if and who, if any, does Fammal miss the most right now?
I'd say their mentor, but they passed away a couple years back.
Do you know of what?
What?
Do you know of what? Like what killed them?
They
Or
were
what?
just really old.
Okay.
They're just old at the time when they found Fammal and passed away. I'm sorry, I'm not very descriptive with any of this.
That's okay. Kind of the point of the question is just like kind of fleshing out your character a bit. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go with Lithius. Lithius, who is someone oh, do you want to answer last week's question as well?
I
Lithius?
don't know what it is.
Last week's question was gosh, I have it in here. It was
What is your
what
character lie
is
to? Okay.
yeah, what is something your character lies to themselves about?
Okay, I'll think about that one. I might ask to answer it last, so I have a little time to stew.
Sure, yeah.
But for the first one, sea elves can live like on land or water, but Lithius live mostly on land. But I think there was a period of time, probably in his childhood, where he lived in the water and had a friend slash pet slash protector that was a stingray that he misses very dearly.
Okay. Did he have a name?
I will think about it.
Steve Irwin.
Steve. Oh god.
Oh no. Too soon.
Yeah, seriously. Okay. Geldloth. Let me see here. First question, what is something Geldloth lies to himself about? And second question, who is someone he misses?
His age. That during his travels he's not escaping something. And then the people that he misses, just almost all of his family. There aren't very many Dragonborn outside of where he's from. Outside of certain places.
Is there any particular family member that he misses? Or just like the whole family?
Just all of them, like the culture.
Okay. Ira, what is something Ira lies to herself about? Oh, you said it last week, but
I did, yeah. Let me find it. She lies to herself about why her family left the islands in the first place. But she's repressed it so long that she doesn't really remember what the truth actually is. Like the true reason that they left the islands. And then as far as missing people, obviously her family at the moment probably Delta the most because she has finally found some trace of her in meeting Colossus.
okay. Xerix. Who is someone Xerix misses?
Xerix misses his clan in the Atarak Desert. So they didn't really treat him that well. And that's why he was outcast. But he still wants to belong and be a part of them and prove that he is one of them.
Okay. Lithius, do you have a potential lie?
I think maybe Lithius doesn't want to come to grips that by being essentially a guidesman for hire on these ships, that he's actually a negative force in the world, because he probably is mostly hired by the unsavory types. So he lies to himself by saying it's just his duty to do what's asked of him, and hasn't had a full reckoning about what he's actually doing.
Ah, interesting. So kind of like he maybe knows he works for unsavory people, but he tells himself it's a job. Like I'm not actively hurting people.
Exactly. He is just helping ships get safe passage, which in his mind is actually a noble thing.
Fantastic. Hey, Xerix, Fammal, do you guys want to tell the party what happened last week?
Uh,
We found a book and read it. Written by a doctor, short novel.
shorted.
Novel.
We
Abridged.
partook in a bonfire.
It was nice, cozy.
And helped an old man into a new house.
Put him into an old folks' home. Very personalized.
I mean, essentially, yeah. So the party investigated the barn. They found this note. I shared it with the class here. About left behind from the doctor who was dealing with the pandemic in that town. And based off of what this note says, the party felt that they needed to destroy the remains of the undead that you guys had slain in the barn. So they set it on fire and decided to, instead of camp in the abandoned village, it was better to just try and make it to town. You guys did take a short rest, but not a long rest, correct?
Right.
And from there, they went down the hillside into a forest, where they noticed strange mushrooms about. Xerix picked some of them up, but with the help of Fammal, your ranger, You were able to safely and easily navigate through the Durnell Forest to the crossroads, and to the graveyard where Xerix was able to get his flask, and they discovered an undead sitting on the roof of one of the mausoleums. Upon further investigation and questioning, he was friendly, said his name was Gary, asked to be helped because his grave, where Geldloth had previously buried him, was flooded, and he really did not want to sleep in the water because he doesn't like his bones wet. So they. Oh my god. Okay. Hopefully you.
Children
Sorry if you heard
shenanigans.
that. Children, just Marcus. So the party helped. They broke into one of the mausoleums, cleared the bones, the remains of it, made sure there was no other undead, and Gary was able to move in. Ayre investigated a large building outside, just outside of the graveyard, that had information. It appeared to be the. Go to my game notes. Ayre discovered that it was the resting place for the royalty of Caer Caladir. Specifically, the name on it was Lord Zagorath. They investigated that room. They found that there was a child's coffin inside. There were two bigger coffins. One of them did have remains. The other did not. The other was an empty coffin. There was no door on the mausoleum, and there was no gate to get through the gate. And then there was two unmarked graves with the names completely crossed out and illegible, next to this larger building. They talked to Gary about that, but Gary seemed just as confused as they were, and recommended going and talking to the gravekeepers, which are usually managed by the temple. So the party decided to head to Caer Caladir. After about an hour or so of travel, you guys see the gates of Caer Caladir up ahead. I'd like everyone to roll perception checks for me.
I want to say that Xerix's flask was the thing he missed the most, but now that it's back, his clan is up there again.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Oh, also
Wow.
Gary gave you guys badges. He gave you a badge for helping him. So who picked that up? I believe it was Xerix, or was it Fammal? Or was it Ayre?
It wasn't me.
Then I'm gonna assume he handed it to Ayre.
What was it?
The badge, the commander's
Oh.
badge.
Xerix has it.
Okay. Okay. Yes. It's a rusted badge of a command, and it has on the text on the badge. It says Commander of the Caladir Guard, and it says has the name Gareth Walsh. There you go. Okay. Let's see here. Lithius and Ayre and Fammal. You all see, looking ahead, 4 figures standing in front of the gateway. Lithius, with that perception, you notice that 2 of them are in different attire from the others. 2 seem to be in just your standard guard wear, while the other 2 seem to be wearing something a little more fancy and a lot of red.
Okay. I don't think Lithius has any specific reaction to that distinction at this time.
Can you say that again?
I don't think Lithius has any specific reaction.
What are not the other 2? They were wearing what? The last 2?
Well, you don't notice this. Lithius does. You can tell that
Oh,
there's 4
okay.
people at the guard, but Lithius is the one that notices more of a distinction out of the 4 people.
And to be
Okay.
clear, like that different uniform has no personal meaning to Lithius at this time, right?
Yeah.
That distinction is not clear besides the surface. Okay.
Exactly right. What would you guys like to do?
I think we're missing Fammal
Why would you be?
on the
Oh,
screen
yeah.
here.
He left me in the
Obviously,
woods.
hanging out with Gary.
She's not family yet.
Ha 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 ha.
You gotta earn the
See,
Diesel's
I
trust.
promised Gary that I'd teach him how to make tea, and so you guys just kind of left me there.
Well, we have to get him tea first.
Yeah, but I thought I'd tell him about
Didn't
it.
he? What is it that he said he wanted us to bring him? A teapot? Is that
A
it?
teapot and some pillows.
That's right. I was gonna
I think
get
a
him
blanket
pillows.
too.
Blanket. Can't go wrong with a blanket.
Goes with the pillows.
Add the pillows to my shopping list.
Okay.
Some
Um,
decorative pillows.
So all that I notice is that there are 4 figures. Are they just standing there, or?
Yes, they're standing in front of the gate. Yeah, that's what you notice. I would say you're probably how big is a football field? A professional football field? But I would say you're probably that distance away.
100 yards.
Yeah, 100
Okay.
yards? No. I'd say 200. 2 football fields. And however many feet that is.
600.
600 feet?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
3
are we-
feet
are we
in a
including
yard.
Are we including the end zones? In which case, it'd be 120 yards or 640.
About that, yeah.
Okay.
Within sight, but
Roughly
not
exactly.
talking distance.
Yes, they don't notice you per se, but you notice them. But you can't hear them. You can't make that distinction of who they are, what they are.
Friend or foe.
Hmm.
This
But they
reference
seem to
point's
be
really
just standing
confusing
there.
for me. Can we use footballs instead? It'd be easier.
Oh, you mean meters? For football?
Oh, actually, I meant soccer.
Oh. Yeah, okay. I assume Ira and Fammal will point out people ahead. I'll leave it up to you what you would like to do.
Should probably
And then
start
they're
heading
just-
to town.
Yeah, they're just standing there, so we would just keep walking closer to them
Okay.
because that's all we can tell right now.
You keep going, walking closer, and you get about 120 feet. Within, I would say you probably get in like 90 feet up to them. And one of the guards, you're all now able to see the guards that look like guards.
Shalina, we're within the 121 foot rule.
I'm just hanging out.
Why no token?
I don't think it speaks Spanish.
In the Deutsch?
There we go. Put them on the right layer. That was the problem the entire time. There you go. There you see the guards. This guard steps up and he says, something along the lines of, "Oh there, that's far enough. State your name and reason for approaching. This area is on lockdown."
Real quick, have we seen guards like this in the city, or did we see these people when we were leaving the city?
You've seen these guards. And these you just are basic city guards.
Okay, so
But
these
you know
are-
that these are temple guards.
I'm saying.
Oh no. What was the guy in charge of the city? What is his position called? He's the mayor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll just be like, the mayor sent us to investigate. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
To investigate the forest. And we're back to report our findings so far. And I'll show him the pass.
He grabs the pass, looks at it, looks at you all. He's like, I mean, that's all well and good, but this paper don't mean much anymore. The mayor's been killed.
Shit, they're onto us.
Jesus!
Run away!
I'm not with them.
There's no like law grandfathering these paths in. Like, we had no idea that this change was happening. We still had authority of the highest people before when we left, like a week ago. So what do you want? Other papers from us? Like, what can we get to get in?
Surely the new person in charge will want to know our findings as well.
And what happens to be your findings?
Shit's fucked.
Spooky, spooky.
Indeed.
Out of character, we probably don't want to tell them that there's a disease happening around, and we've been to towns that have this disease, and we have been exposed to it.
Well, he says
Yeah,
the
that might
city's
not
on
be a good
lockdown.
idea.
So we should
Yeah,
ask if
exactly.
the city's on lockdown because of the mayor dying or because of something else.
We don't know.
We also have what I would consider a fuckload of money if we wanted to bribe our way in.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get all the other options before we get to that point.
And this
Xerix is
poor
very greedy.
backwoods ass place.
Hey,
I'm sorry. This poor backwoods place.
Leave their donkey out of it.
Didn't do anything wrong.
Can I think Lithius was also chartered on a mission that was funded by the mayor, so I could try and talk about that and be coy. Say something along the lines of, be sure to tell the council of the mayor when I report on the fate of their next anticipated shipment that never arrived.
You should say, regardless, they owe me money.
So what are you saying to the guard?
Lithius is on a mission from God.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that is a good way to gloss over their request for bad information and change the subject, right? I'm okay with reporting that to them. I don't... Want me to say it again? Essentially, just...
Yes.
We'll be glad to tell you as soon as we'll be glad to tell the council of the mayor as soon as we can report on the fate of this most recent shipment. I, as the protector of the voyage, have a duty to...
He said duty.
Ensure this information gets safely. Unfortunately, discretion is required.
Shipment, you say, that the mayor has asked for.
That's correct.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion roll for me.
Okay.
Can I assist in any way?
What are you going to say to help?
I have no idea.
Great talk.
I guess I'll just rummage through my bag and kind of just put it in my hand, start counting some of the gold nuggets.
This guard is kind of he's still talking to Lithius. This one catches your eye. He's noticing you going through your bag, and he's hearing the clinking. Are you trying to make it pretty obvious, the clinking noise? Or are you pulling the gold out and just kind of throwing it back in the bag, or how exactly?
Oops, a bunch of gold fell out of my bag. How clumsy of me.
I mean, okay, let's say that the gold and silver bullion were in a separate bag, and I'm just trying to go through my bag, and I accidentally drop them, and they kind of spill out a little bit.
Okay. Go ahead and give me
when I pick them back up, then I'm counting to make sure I have all of them. Slowly, and I'll be looking down with it in my left hand, with my right finger kind of just my right pointer finger just kind of moving them from one side to the other while counting.
Okay.
In plain sight.
I will say that can give Lithius a advantage on deception. If you would like to do that instead of just a straight persuasion roll, as that was pretty noticeable, and this guard would have noticed that as well.
Okay. Lithius is not despite being a sorcerer, is not charismatic at all. I'm going to roll an insight to decide if I pick up on what is trying to be done.
Sure.
Okay, sure, yeah. I will change my approach and roll deception.
Natural one.
They're both ones. Oh my god.
They both start with one. That's ridiculous. I hate roll 20. Can we roll outside of roll 20? I feel this is rigged.
That's fine. Yeah, you can roll outside of roll 20. You just have to tell me what you roll, but
I don't know if it helps, but my background as a pirate gives me the passive ship's passage, which helps me curry favor with sailors in case any of them standing there are.
Hey, sailor.
He's got that booty.
That will be useful in other areas, but not so much here with these fine armored gentlemen.
Fine.
Fair enough.
And the guard, based off of your deception, he says, well, again, I mean, there's no mayor to talk to for you. The previous mayor is dead. And honestly, the other mayor, the acting mayor, is not going to have time to really deal with the previous mayor's mess. I recommend either you... What can you do? Why do you want to come into this town? But what is your purpose? Where are you staying?
Okay.
I
What
own-
Insight.
happened to the other mayor? Like, how did he?
I
die?
live here. I own a spot in town next to the water at the docks.
You,
Come
I'll
on.
produce the deed.
he'll show the deed.
Yeah.
He looks at the deed, looks at you, and
I'll also like exaggeratedly pull out my tartan and like it looks like it's raining in the map, so maybe it's raining, and I'll just kind of like wrap it around me against the rain.
do you remember what color your tartan was?
I had the Nick Oglar one, I believe.
Okay, so
I
it's
rolled
yellow.
a natural 2000.
Let me see. Yeah, the Nick Oglar one.
Natural
Hopefully nobody has their tourist ones on.
Okay. So, Xerix, you show the deed to this guard. He shows it to this gentleman here. They both nod. Ayre, you see this one turns his head to look at you with your tartan on. And he leans over and whispers something to this gentleman. This guy says, all right, sir, as long as you're just heading straight home, you're allowed passage. Unless these are your other employees and you have proof of that, they're not getting into town.
Well, yeah, they're like they said before. They help me with shipments. I own a property down by the water. I know it's been rough with shipments coming in. They don't always get here intact, but these are my employees that I
His
wouldn't be able to
accountant.
run my business without. In fact, it's
And
not. It's not a business quite yet. I'm starting something. I guess it's a bad time. I didn't know that we didn't have a leader till just now. But yeah, I'm starting a business, and these are my the people I've hired to help me out.
I'll look over at him and say, sir, I'm sorry I dropped them, but I counted to make sure they're all still there.
Are they organized by size and color?
Yeah, yes, sir. They're
Oh.
by color first, and then by size and tinier packages.
I'm very meticulous about how I like my valuables stored.
Some of them are dirty, so I also licked them clean.
Much appreciated.
All right, Xerix, go ahead and give me a deception roll, claiming that these people, is this including Colossus?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
4 others.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, so the
Uh,
5 others are your employees, and you have advantage on this with Geldloth throwing in that help.
Okay.
Your DC is 15.
Just making sure I don't have any spells that I can help with.
And you do have an inspiration from last time, so.
Xerix is not as charismatic as before, so he is much less confident in his talking to people. 18.
Fantastic. The guard looks at the deed, looks at all of you. Says, all right. As long as you just go straight to your place, your home, you're allowed passage. I recommend you stay out of the streets. You do not cause any trouble, as there are extra patrols.
Is
And
this
he
all
is-
because the mayor got killed, or is this something else?
Is there something we should keep an eye out for?
We need to lock our doors or something?
Where do
Of
we-
course, you should always lock your doors during a lockdown. It's the whole point of a lockdown. But
Why? What is the lockdown for? What if we see it? Should we tell the patrol or you guards about? Anything?
this one pipes up. This one steps forward and he's like, "You're going to want to be looking out for anyone wearing any kind of tartan of one of the clans. And you, kinsman, seem to be wearing the correct color, it so happens. Though you don't have our accent, apparently you're part of our clan. Anyone who is wearing the MacLear colors is to be questioned by the authorities and turned in."
You should ask, do I make myself McClear?
I recommend you don't going around asking too many questions. It might make you rather stand out. This guard will be like, "All right, that's it then." They'll hail for the gate. The guards is like, "Open the gates!" And the gates start to move.
Bring out your
Step
dad.
aside for you to go in.
Okay, Xerix will lead people inside.
Woo! We're just gonna go to this one right here. There we go.
There's
Okay.
just a district for wolves. Is that what
bigger than the
you
ant
fucking
district.
furries is?
It's the Wolf of Wall Street.
It's full of wild wolves. It's actually kind of a problem.
It's a conservatory.
Protected lands and whatnot.
Unfortunately, we have to go through the wolf district to get to the drug den that Xerix owns.
No, we don't. Wait, where's the gate?
We're down to the west.
Yeah, so you guys are at this
Oh, we're
gate.
at that gate this time. I see.
You're gonna have to go
Right.
all the way through. Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo.
We also can go back to the pub. I still have food credit there. Bar credit. 1 gold, 60 silver. We
As you
can get
pass-
free food.
As you pass by the gates, where once was a bolsterous city with vendors, civilians, and the wealthy, noisy marketing and yelling, all kinds of city noises, the street is very quiet. There are few people daring to walk outside, and they seem to keep to themselves and move rather quickly to get to their destination. There are plenty of guards, though, and for every group of guards, there seems to be at least one guard in red in their company. The party is welcome to roll a perception check. But you all notice that no one is wearing a tartan.
I take mine off and stuff it back in my bag.
This is a bad idea.
Dang, look at these perception checks.
Can
Yeah, usually I'm
I-
stuck
I've
with
never
like
rolled a 5 in
single digit
life.
numbers.
We gotta have that one. Like somebody in the party
Gotta-
has just gotta roll a 1 at all times.
It seems like it.
I would like to use my gem alongside my perception roll.
Okay.
My gem of seeing.
And it has counters still?
Sorry? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I change charge. True sight to 120 feet.
Okay.
So I'll like discreetly peer through it, pretending to inspect it and hold it close to my eye like I can't see very well.
Ooh, you can detect visual illusions.
Yeah, that's how we knew that there were the weird priests in the first inn that we went to when we crash landed.
Yeah. Okay. So Fammal, Xerix, Geldloth, Ayre, you all notice that almost on every door they have the herald's mark hanging over their doorway. But with that perception roll, you also notice that all of the guards have a branch of the herald's mark pinned to their lapel. It looked like a thing. It looked like this. Ayre, with your true sight, you see that every now and then, as guards pass by, you notice there is clearly an illusion being held on some, not all, but some of the Red Guard. You notice that some of them seem to have this illusion spell on them, like heat waves, and it seems to be hiding the fact that their body is bigger than it actually looks like without the true sight. But with that, it is early in the morning. What would you guys like to do?
We could go to the place we were staying before, I guess.
Sure. You guys are gonna go to the Shady Shape Hub?
What's anyone?
Well, it's still early in the morning if you want to set your stuff down, but Xerix wants to do the market stuff. Although, with this whole lockdown thing, I don't know how much will get done with that.
I mean, we could kind of like peer at it while we walk through, but it might be good to find a place to be able to talk more discreetly as we figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe get some information from Barrick. About what happened to the mayor and stuff.
Okay. I will move you guys as you go through the streets. Again, there's people that have their cloaks on and they are trying to avoid the guards. You'll see some of them when there's guards coming down the street. Others will kind of try and make themselves as small as possible and really hug the wall of the buildings. of the street to go through. Every now and then you'll hear a carriage going by that is decorated very fancifully. To the Shatty Shay. This is not the music that's sounding.
So like the illusion is making them look smaller.
Yes. It's quieter. Okay. You all enter the Shatty Shay, and you find that it is empty. What do you guys do? You gonna just
Is
have a
it-
seat?
Is it empty as in it looks like he's not awake yet? Or empty as in like there's dust on everything and nobody's been here in forever?
No, the place just seems clean and well kept. There's still some tables, like some plates out left over from the night and some mugs. But you just don't see anyone inside. You know that there is a back room. I don't think you've ever gone back there.
Like a back room for the staff or a back room where we can go to sit?
A back room for the staff.
Oh, okay.
Um,
And the door was just open? Like it wasn't locked, even though there's no one tending?
Yeah, the door was open. You were able to go inside.
I would call out and see if maybe he's there. If nobody answers, then I would just like find a cleanish looking table and have a seat.
Do you remember the guy's name?
I just said his name. His name is Beric Miko.
Yeah.
Pub owner.
So you're calling out to him. What are you saying exactly?
Good question. I'll just be like, "Good morning, is anyone here?"
You wait for a response, but you don't hear anything.
I poke my head in the door to the back room. But if I don't see anyone, I will sit down.
Okay. What rest of the party doing?
Xerix will have one of his daggers out, just like ready. Even in times of like woe and stuff, bars are still usually pretty popular because people are trying to drown their sorrows. So he's just suspicious of this. But he is gonna go like look around for signs of anything that is out of place.
Okay. As far as you can tell, the place still seems like, it's habitable. It's inhabited. That there are still patrons coming in on the regular. You see signs of like footprints on the ground from the mud from outside. It's dried, but you can tell that there have been people in here that have gone and sat at tables or gone to the bar. You don't see anything just on a glance out of place.
Can I like investigate, see how long it's been? Like, is it just been since the night before? Or has it been a couple days since people have been in here?
Sure, yeah.
What would you like me
And
to
anyone
roll?
who wants to help with that, you can go ahead and roll an investigation. Okay. So Xerix, you on investigation, it's a bit hard to tell how, but you can tell like people have been in here recently because of that mud. But you're also kind of like, well, but the mud's not clean, so therefore maybe it's been a few days. That's kind of how you and Lithius are feeling. Like it's kind of weird that a barkeeper didn't clean up the plates from the previous customers. Ayre, Fammal, Geldloth, you guys are able to get a little more precise in that you are guessing that it's probably been 2 days since this place has had customers, since it's had seats at the people at the table. You can tell that there are, when you're going and looking at the bar, you see that there are still opened bottles of wine and ale that hasn't been sealed properly. What would you like to do?
Guess go in the back and see what there is.
Time to loot.
I mean, if nobody's here, might as well see if something's happened.
Just want to know. Just go in the back and see what we can make for ourselves.
I would like to ritual cast detect poison and disease, please.
Sure. That's going to take 10 minutes to ritual cast. Those who want to go in the back, Colossus is just going to kind of sit at the bar and just like wait. And it's like, I'm sure he's coming back soon, or whoever it is that owns this place, maybe a waitress or something. And those that are going into the back, you go into the back and you see that it's a pretty simple setup. There's a makeshift kitchen. There's several caskets, though you could tell that there's a lot of empty space where, with those investigation rolls, there clearly is more space for caskets than there are caskets. Inventory seems to be running low.
Caskets or casks?
Caskets, like casks or caskets of wine.
That would be a cask.
A cask.
Casket is what you bury someone in,
Okay.
which is
I mean,
why I was clarifying.
That could be what's
maybe-
back here.
Got a little morbid.
Maybe it's a
Before he
tiny
left.
cask, so it's a casket.
You see barrels, wine barrels, full of things, but there could be more of them. Yes. You see that there is a stew that is bubbling. It smells good. In the back.
It's been here for several days, but there's a stew bubbling.
Just like one of those.
Ayre,
Just like one of those century stews that they just continually cook
Yeah,
for
just let him
100 years.
Yeah.
cook.
Throw everything in there.
yeah,
Yeah,
you just keep adding stuff to it.
Ugh,
it's a hunter stew.
that's what it's called.
It just keeps going. Ayre, it's been about 10 minutes and you don't detect any disease or poison unless you consider alcohol to be a poison.
I mean,
Oh, actually, that's a lie. You do detect some poison on Xerix.
like a black light all over him.
It just gives him a weird look.
Xerix is just poison. That's just what he is.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
If it's boiling, that means there's a fire under it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell from the state of the fire how long it's been since someone has tended it?
Yeah. So looking at the fire with that 18 investigation roll, you wagered that it's been going since early in the morning. You're guessing it's probably been going since like 1, 2 in the morning.
I will pull a seat in here and have a seat next to the fire.
Okay. It is nice and warm, and it is feeling. It gives you a cozy feeling, especially since you're in a dry place, out of the rain. All of you actually start to feel rather a sigh of relief that you're in a town, you're in a city with people, not undead, not abandoned.
Well, people somewhere.
Well, abandoned. This bar looks pretty empty.
It's empty right now. But you can tell that there are signs of life. You all feel a little comfort in that. And as you all take a seat, warm yourselves by the fire, you hear the door open. And those that are in this area, in the main area, will see this guy. Who's in actually the main room, and who's in the back room still?
What is that guy's name?
Xerix
He
is in the
looks
main
familiar.
room.
Xerix is in the main room.
Yeah. When the guy shows up, Xerix will cast Mage Hand and like close the door to the back room, so it's not like obvious that other people are in there.
Okay.
Is that Carl?
No. This is Barrick. I don't know if you are in the main room. You see Barrick, and Barrick walks to the door, and he hasn't noticed you all yet. He seems to be looking down, reading some sort of notebook.
I'll just be like, oh, thank goodness.
My God. Whoa. Oh, you've given me quite a fright.
Sorry to startle you.
What are you? Oh, gosh. Okay. How did you get in here?
You left the door open? And I still have, money on my tab?
Oh my God. He turns around, like looks at the door, and he's just like, I suppose I did. It's been rather chaotic. Welcome back. It's been a while, I understand. You've probably been away for a week or two. Feels like forever since I... Anyways.
Much
give me a
seems
moment.
to have changed in the time we were gone.
Much has changed and is changing. It's dark times right now. It's even worse than before. But give me a moment. Let me set up. Let me open up. I'll serve you folks some food and beer. Whatever you need. And he's gonna go into the back.
When I hear the door open, I'll just respond. I mean, there's a whole lot here, but I don't know how to cook any of this.
So you're in the back.
I just think it's someone else from the group.
Yeah. And he like opens the door and he hears this and he's like, "Oi!" Everyone else hears this and they're like, "What you think you're doing? Are you like trying to rob me or something?"
What?
He's like,
no, you
look
weren't
here. That's still no right to go through my things. Get out there with the rest of your friends. I'll serve you something. Better nothing be missing. Else I'll be doubling your tab. And he kind of
Oh, no,
watches you
I
leave.
I have credit on it. Like, he has extra money.
Yeah.
Because we didn't use all of the money I gave him.
Then you'll have no tab. No credit. Geldloth, did you take anything?
No, I didn't take anything.
Okay. Everyone sees Geldloth come out of the door. What do you do?
Why didn't anyone say anything?
I slammed the. Well, I didn't slam it, but I shut the door so that it'd give you a sign that something was happening. But it wasn't clear, I guess.
Okay. Well, after some time, about 10 minutes, the guy comes back out. He's got, clean clothes on, more of a tavern wear, casual wear, compared to what he was wearing before, which was, something a little nicer, a little fancier, along with a long, dark leather jacket. He comes out and he's like, all right. Well then, what you been needing? What's suiting your fancy?
Well, some rooms and a meal would be nice, but we're glad you're here. We were a bit worried. Do you maybe have any information as to what is going on here? Like, the guards would not say much to us. They didn't even want to let us in at first.
Well, the whole place is on lockdown. Let me get you some food and some drink. And he pulls out 7 glasses and pulls out a bottle of whiskey. He's like, here, this is on the house. Amazed you all, well, most of you, looks like you've lost some companions or they've changed or something. I don't know. And he pours 7 glasses of whiskey out for each of you. And he grabs a glass and downs it. He's like, all right, that'll warm my bones. I was gone. There was an emergency clan meeting. With everything going on, there's a hunt for the most of the McLear clan members. Apparently there was a conspiracy going on that they were attempting or they'd succeeded in killing the mayor. They were trying to take over Caer Caladir. It's an absolute mess, it is. I mean...
Why did they think that it's the McLears that killed the mayor?
Well, it was Tara McLear, who was found guilty for killing the mayor. She was there in his office, covered in blood, holding the knife. And the court has already been ruled. She's going to be hung tomorrow. It's really a terrible affair.
Her husband is dead. She has a child. What would that gain her?
Well, the court ruled that she was conspiring with her clan for vengeance, for the mayor sending her husband off and not compensating his funeral, as well as, his wages owed for doing the work that he had done. Also that he didn't recover a body. And apparently Tara just wasn't having it. I mean, it really doesn't sound like her, but what do I know? I mean, a woman that desperate lost pretty much everything, her entire world.
Yes, we met her. It does not seem like the sort of thing she would do.
Well, Fortunately, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing any of us can do. So they've been found guilty. They've taken their
Yeah.
daughter to the temple. Her daughter got very sick, apparently. So the temple's watching her.
Which temple?
The temple, the only temple we have, the Temple of Seven. The MacLear head, who's the head high priest, it seems to be the only MacLear who's not part of the conspiracy.
Mm.
How convenient for him, huh?
I don't know if I would be so sure about that. I don't know. Was he the sketchy one or was he the like sane one?
For what? For who?
The head priest.
I mean,
Like, at the temple there was like a sketchy one and a sane one. I feel like.
the sane one was Gary, who was
Yeah.
raised as Gary Stonegreg, who was raised by dwarves.
Gary is here.
It's a very common name.
It's very
It's named
popular.
after his great
I'm
great great
Scottish
grandfather.
It's a family name. Yeah. So, you guys had gone to the temple, and you had met the high priest, who happens to be the head of the MacLear clan, and is known to be the head of the MacLear clan. He was, I believe, the one that you think is sketchy.
It says alleged clan leader.
Yeah, head priest Simon MacLear. Does anyone else drink their glasses of whiskey?
Is it poison?
Fammal kind of
Is that
sniffs.
poison lingering?
Yes. Oh wait, it's not poisoned.
No.
It is.
The bottle was
alcohol.
already in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no, then it's fine. After he drinks it, I will drink it.
Xerix doesn't wait until somebody else drinks it. He just downs it. Xerix don't care.
Lithius, a point of inspiration for that. Very good. So if anyone who doesn't drink their whiskey, Barrick is going to down it as well. You're like, I'll be honest with you, Ayre. I don't know what's going to happen. Today's meeting was an emergency meeting about the war of the clans. I mean, all of the clans have gotten along fine, but MacOglars are starting to get antsy. That can't help but feel like MacLear's clan is being targeted. I doubt they would be stupid enough to actually form a conspiracy.
It does seem like she is being framed.
Thing is, they had the evidence. I don't.
Who had it?
Well, the guards, when they'd found her.
These the guards in red.
No, not just the guards in the red. It was the city guards, and the assistant of the mayor, Jostin. That weird gnomish fella.
Well, seems some of the guards are not quite what they seem. When I saw the illusion, they were just bigger, but they were still like dressed as guards, or they just looked completely different.
Still dressed like guards, but their frames seemed much bigger than they actually looked without the illusion. You couldn't see their faces because they're wearing those helmets.
Mhm. I guess then I'll ask, do you know of any peoples in this area that are much larger than normal? It seems some of the guards in red have magic to disguise the fact that they are much larger.
I mean, there's not many who are, massive. There's the, old Furdo Macintosh, that orc fella down in the Wolf District. He's quite huge. There's not many orcs, though, who would be that big. And definitely not any, humans that are massive. I mean, how big are you talking?
I mean, I don't know that they are huge. Well, I couldn't see their faces. They had their helmets on, but I mean, they were larger than normal. I don't. How much larger were they?
So, a human is like, around 5'8" to 6 feet, something, right? These guys seemed bulkier, like they're on steroids, and at least like 6'10" to 7'5". Very tall. You know what? Like, did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the guy, the mountain?
Mm-hmm.
They're like that.
Okay. I'll just be like, well, they're. I don't know that I would call them massive. Just, more like taller, like 7 feet ish, and very like large, bulky looking.
No, I wouldn't know anyone of that size or that stature. I mean, the orc fellow.
Well, there
But
were
there's only
quite
one
a
of
few
him.
of them. There were quite a few of them.
Interesting.
But why
Maybe
wouldn't they want to
something
be
with the rain?
known?
I really don't know. I mean, I know you can't trust those damn red priests. They're everywhere now. They've banned pretty much all other worship except for Talos.
And you think the Red Guards are in league with the priests?
They're part of the priesthood, aren't they? They're like paladins or something. Loaned by the temple to the city. Especially because the city needs extra help trying to find the rest of the MacLear clan. Today, it's the MacLear clan. Tomorrow, it's us, though.
Indeed. Do you know
The
if
Muffin Man.
Man,
I
didn't say it.
the mayor's assistant, is he particularly devout?
I don't know much of Yostin. He's now acting mayor. You might want to go ask him. Though I'd be careful. You don't want to ask too many questions.
The guards outside that there was no leadership right now, like in between mayors.
I mean, no official. He is deemed himself acting mayor and has been supported by the temple. So who's to question it?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
The priests they were tied up with the cultists somehow, right? The ones that we like took on their secret hideout.
Yeah, you had seen
And Xerix's warehouse.
yeah,
No, that was different. That was drugs, right?
there was
They were
drugs,
connected.
but they're connected.
Okay. It's been so long. I'm sorry. Something is definitely fishy here.
The moments where there's no talking, when Eric isn't talking, he's just looking, staring off into the distance, just like looking at nothing. Until he finally says, "I hate to do this to you, but I'm not allowed to have any guests staying at the inn. Because the guards come in here regularly and do searches, making sure I'm not hiding any the MacLears, even though I'm a MacOglar. Doesn't seem to matter to them."
You said the execution was tomorrow.
Aye, tomorrow at noon.
Will this
It'll
end
be
the,
in the
Where?
castle district.
will this end the lockdown?
Supposedly, this will end the lockdown, but it won't end the search. They want every MacLear, except for the leader, because he's in cahoots, as it were, to be brought in. And I imagine this is not going to be the last hanging. I can give you food, I can give you drink. You're welcome to stay here for a few hours, but I can't give you room.
Very well. We have somewhere we can go.
If you can, I would recommend trying to leave the city. All of the other adventurers that were here, that the mayor had brought in, half of them have been killed.
Or
Apparently, one of the guards discovered that some of the adventurers were not actually adventurers. They were some sort of strange creature. Pale, misshapen. But they had turned into those adventurers. Impersonated them. But they weren't actually them. And so now all adventurers are being detained. I'm honestly surprised that you were able to get in. But it's probably easier for you to be in and them to search for you than for you to not come in.
This is definitely fishy. Like, if they think that that is happening with some of the adventures, why couldn't the same thing have happened with Tara McClear? Like,
Really
how
don't
is
know.
there any way to know?
Agreed. How is anyone to know?
well, they'll find out when they kill her if she changes when she dies. The whole witch hunt thing.
That's getting to the point where brother can't trust brother. I don't even know if you are or actually who you say you are. 2 of your people are gone. And instead you've brought 3 strangers I've never seen before.
To be fair, you could be one of them as well.
That's true.
Can't trust
Could
anyone.
be feeding you false information.
I'll pull out my tartan, and just be like, it is me. Because he's the one that gave it to me, right?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
And I'll just be like, if there's anything we can do to help you, let us know.
Ayre, can you... how long does your lens last? Like, is it still going, or do you have to use another charge right now?
I mean, it has more charges. 10 minutes. So probably not.
It's been 10 minutes. I was just gonna say if we could use it on him, see if he's a shape changer. But it's just one person.
Oh,
Yeah, because True Sight
maybe
reveals
those
shape changers.
like tentacly things are what we can see with the gem. Okay, I will roll my persuasion first. Okay, that's not very good. Hang on. Much better.
Are you using an inspiration for that, or?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I will use the gem again and look at him. And I'll explain to him how it works and let him like look at us with it.
So you look at the gem, and you see he is who he is. His appearance doesn't shift. There is no haziness about him. There is no heat waves. He is Beric. And with that persuasion roll, pulling out the tartan, he's going to be like, I believe you. Only a damn group of fools who've been missing for a week and a half would come back here. Despite what's going on, you've clearly not been in town for a while. I'll assume you vetted your own new people in your group. And then you're explaining the gem?
Yeah, I explain how it works and let him like look at us. And just be like, we are who we are and nothing more.
Turns out Colossus is actually a tentacle monster.
Dun,
This
dun,
whole time.
dun.
Zoidberg.
Yeah.
So
Did I spoil it?
maybe. But Ayre hasn't looked through the gem to look at the rest of the party.
I thought she just did.
Did she? I thought she's only looked at Beric.
I thought she just
I mean, I would have
showed
looked at.
Beric, all of us through it.
Well, I mean, I would have looked at us first, but yes, I would have seen us like as we were walking through town.
Okay, well, if that's what you did, then you wouldn't have made it here. If you had actually used the stone, but you didn't say you looked at the rest of the party with the stone.
Oh, okay. Well, I
So-
look at them now then.
You look at them now, and you see haziness around Colossus.
Okay, well, I let him look at me.
Okay. He looks through the stone and sees that you are you.
And then I take it back. And I ask him if there's anything we can do to help him before we leave, or like if there's anything he needs.
He just kind of shakes his head and says, like, there's nothing I need. I think it's more something that you'll probably be needing. I think it's you folks that'll be needing the help. And I don't know if you're going to get it here. Well, if that's enough with the questions, I'm gonna get back. Got some busy work to do.
You did say that we should leave the island. How do you suggest we do that? Like, all the ships that go in and out come in or end up shipwrecked, like not far off. So, how are we supposed to get off the island?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of figured that there was some sort of... There had to have been at least a boat somewhere that traveled amongst the islands. Not necessarily try and leave and head to the mainland. I mean, I know there's tons of bootleggers and pirates and what have you, smugglers that traverse around the islands.
Indeed.
Okay.
He goes... He takes the glasses that are empty, puts them in his tub. It's like, there's food you need, I can bring that out for you. Let me know. He'll take the tub and back and start doing busy work.
Sorry, what did he say? If we need food?
Yeah.
Okay.
But with all this time and everything that's going on, I would say that it's late morning now. You guys will have a point of exhaustion since you ran through the night. You all are starting to feel the fatigue. The adrenaline has worn off from everything that happened the previous day. So mark that on your persons. But this is a great time for you guys to talk amongst yourselves, as you are the only clientele in this building.
Well, Xerix was waiting for him to leave us alone to say, well, if the execution is tomorrow, that gives us some time to attempt to investigate the crime scene of the murder. I mean, we can all ask a bunch of questions, but it just comes down to what is their facts. Although my book is has something about if I need to talk to somebody important and I'm not quite next to them, that they can write their name here, and he'll open the book up and move it around and like point to a page on the book. And the I will link the feature, but I will be able to cast sending to 3 people.
You just need their signature.
Exactly, yeah. Oh. Also, when he shows you this book, the font is in the style of Zalgo. So it looks pretty crazy, but you can still kind of read it.
Is this the book you were learning how to read out of?
Yes, Xerix has picked up reading and is fascinated by this book. He wants the people he's contact most will be Ayre, Geldloth, and Lithius. Eventually, he'll allow Fammal to put their name in the book, but... Oh, I guess you can use ink. I mean, I normally use blood, but the book isn't too picky about it, I guess.
Ayre will also sign it.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool. You don't have to use a spell slot, and you don't need the material components.
I just need to write it in the book, and it appears in their heads. And there's no, like, limit on, how many times per day. So that's cool. Xerix is essentially just planning on getting into the mayor's office and, like, investigating the murder scene, if it's still there. I mean, it sounds like somebody else has taken position, but he's going to break in and then use that far scribe thing to talk to the party if no one else wants to join him.
Nice. Okay.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah.
For
Who are you
when-
doing it on?
When Ayre was looking at the party with the stone.
Okay.
That's probably a good idea. I'm new to this group. Probably naturally suspicious. Gonna do the same.
This
Yeah.
counts as an ability check, yeah?
Yes.
So I should have
Disadvantage.
Ability? Skill?
Even better.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's fine. Lithius, like, you understand that there's clearly, like, some craziness going on, and, like, you're starting, like, with how he was talking, and, like, you can't trust anyone. Like, people are looking like your friends, and then next thing you know, they're not. And so you're starting to feel that, like, who am I traveling with? Like, you're starting to feel a little alone with that insight. You're starting to feel like, I don't really know these people. How do I know that they're safe? Ayre, what does Geldloth insight? Did you make any kind of facial expression that he might have noticed?
Not really. I think it would be more of like the lack of facial expression, if that makes sense.
As
So,
in,
like,
you would go from
you-
cheery to just kind of like a straight face?
Well, not cheery. I wasn't cheery, but I was like,
Emoting.
talking to Barrick, right? And then, like, you can just barely see that, like, basically she looks at the party and Ayre just, like, makes a mask of her features. And, like, it's barely noticeable, but you just, like, see, like, the sudden lack of expression, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, she's trying to not show anything.
When
Like,
we were like lined up, or when she was looking at us, were we lined up in a particular way, or like all sitting at a table, or would it be possible to see like who she was looking at that time? Or would it just be kind of just...
I mean, it just is like, she looked over everyone, and then she took it down from her eye and started explaining it to, it would be like right before she, as she was turning back to Beric, and starting to explain it to him. So, like, you get the sense that there is something wrong. But obviously Ayre doesn't want anyone to know it yet.
Ira, can you give me a sleight of hand?
So
To
she's
see if you could
basically
try
just
and
like,
hide this behavior. Or a deception.
Sure.
So with that, I am going to say that Geldloth does know something is off, but he doesn't know specifically about what. But he did notice a
I'm
shift.
sure he can easily deduce the most, the thing that makes the most sense. But you don't really know, like, whether it has to do with the party or, like, whether she doesn't trust Beric with
Yeah.
the information, or whether she is, like, genuinely concerned about the information.
With that, would you guys like to do anything?
Do I notice him noticing?
I mean, you're welcome to roll an insight on Geldloth.
They know that we know that they know that we know that they know.
I know, you know, he knows, we know, Lee know. I mean, you don't really notice
I'm too busy
anything.
explaining the stone to Beric.
Yeah, well, and especially after Beric leaves, you're not really noticing any odd behavior amongst the group. Inquisitive looks or what have you. But what does the party want to do? What are you guys doing? You gonna have food here? Are you wanting to go to your place to rest? Or you want to go to the market? Are you gonna plan a heist?
I kind of want to see what's up with the neighbor's place, but I think everybody's exhausted.
If we go to rest, does the time spent, like, resting here count?
No, because you're not sleeping. I mean, this would consider maybe a short rest if you're staying an hour for here.
But that wouldn't get rid of our exhaustion.
No.
I think we should go and sleep then. So I will propose going to the warehouse to sleep.
All right. Well, invite yourself over to my place if you want.
Okay.
It's kind of my
he
thing,
said
but
we can't
you know,
stay here, and
no, it's fine. Fine, you can come
we
over.
can't investigate.
No,
when we're
just
this
invite yourself
invested.
over. It's fine.
Wow.
Perhaps we should take some food with us to go.
That's the place that you just happened to find the deed for in the desk, yeah?
Well, nobody knows that. I think this is the first time.
This is like the
that I've
first time you
actually-
guys have learned that he has a deed to a business, and it's legit, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since I don't know that, then I'll be just like, well, you have a place we could go, right? You have that deed.
I mean, it's kind of small. It just barely fits me, but I guess we can squeeze in and have some other company inside. I haven't cleaned up, so
All right. Well, let's get some food and go back and get some rest. Did you like openly say that you're gonna go investigate?
I was waiting for him to leave. Like I wasn't gonna talk about it when he was
But once he was
talking to
gone,
us.
did you
Yeah.
tell us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said
Then I would put that in there too. I would be like, if you want to investigate, you need to like get some rest first.
yeah. Yep. That was the plan. Let's wait for like nightfall when the mayor isn't like, or the new guy isn't like doing his thing. 'Cause it's very easy to see people when it's light out.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. So we'll get some stews to go.
Okay. Barrett comes out and he's like, I've got some stew and some bread. I got a little bit of salted pork left. So I've not got much. He refills your whiskey glasses. He drinks 2 more whiskey glasses. And he says like,
Malls just sets hers off to the side.
Xerix drinks from Malls.
The really long straw.
yeah, and he's like, I can bring you food.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
I drink your milkshake.
Yeah, so that's what he's got to offer. It's not much. He says, if you're wanting like something a little better, you're welcome to try the Wolf District. I think there's still some shops that are open. Though I don't know how well it'll go tomorrow. I imagine the entire city's gonna be there watching the gallows.
Do you expect some kind of resistance at this execution from the clan? I mean, their
Well,
leader is.
You guys
being
might want to
executed.
be on your way.
Okay, I'll take that. We'll start heading out.
I'll leave him 5 gold.
I'll leave him 5 platinum.
I'll leave him 5 copper.
Okay.
Just
Xerix, go ahead and roll an insight for me. As you had said that question.
I will.
High five. Xerix, you can tell that he's obviously hiding something. There's a reason why he's silent. And he seems to narrow his eyes at your question.
Wait, what question?
Does he
If
expect
there will be
interference?
resistance to the execution, because a lot of people will be there. And their leader is being executed, so they probably have something to say about that.
Not their leader, but
Oh,
a prominent, well-known clan member who
prominent
everyone
party
knows
member.
was pretty. Yeah. Who everyone knows was honestly a very sweet, kind, innocent woman.
Jan 1 through 5 have been very nice, but Jan 6 is kind of getting up there and taking over for leaders and whatnot.
But yeah, so that's what you notice with that insight, that 15 or that 20, excuse me. No, why do you have disadvantage on insight?
We're
Oh,
exhausted.
because of your exhaustion. Yeah, so with that 15,
Okay.
just kind of narrowing his eyes at you and your question. And obviously he's clearly heard it.
Xerix takes the hint.
Geldloth, who are you inciting?
Same thing.
Okay.
Or did he, like, kind of just avoided the question.
Yeah, you can tell that he is shooting daggers, as it were, giving Xerix the stink eye. And and that he seems uncomfortable and annoyed with Xerix's question.
Does he seem to like look around or just like?
No, his eyes are directly on Xerix.
Okay.
He packages you up, kind of puts a loaf of bread in a bag and hands you a bowl of stew. I guess maybe it would be more like, how would you carry stew?
In your pocket.
In your hands.
I could get out the pot that I have in my bag.
I open up my bag of
Just
holding
pour
and
it
let
in
him
the
pour it
pot.
in there. Just in the bag of holding.
To get it out, you just put it. You hold your hand in a spoon and just.
Wait, so if it goes in the bag of holding, does it stay in the pot? Because it's like a stationary space, right?
I imagine it would have to stay in the pot, yeah.
Okay.
I would probably secure the lid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want...
You don't want it jostling
No.
while you drive around.
You don't want it just everywhere in your extra dimensional space. Flying.
Yeah, who knows what's in
different
that
items.
extra dimensional
So like
space,
the way that
you
it
know?
works though is every time it's like things come to your hand whenever you think about them. So what happens if you're like reaching and like, man, I really hope there's some soup on this. And
You
then
have to
there's
be
just-
very careful how you think about it, because either you're going to get a handful of soup that just kind of dribbles out of your hands. You have to specifically think about pot full of soup.
I mean, I could lick it off my hand.
That's true. But yes,
But
yeah,
Ira would never forget the pot.
you can take a pot out and he'll add enough soup shares for you guys. He says like, it was good seeing you, but I'm hoping that I don't see you again after tomorrow. Probably this is gonna be my last day open.
Oh, well then I guess you don't need 5 platinum.
Oh, that's not true. He's already taken it. He's
Famal's
already
gonna-
taken your money and the high five.
Famal's gonna
Damn
thank
it!
him for the food and
Wow.
information and hold out their hand to hand them something.
Okay, you're
And-
handing him something.
Yeah, I'm handing him something.
Okay,
Medium.
I'm gonna drop one of the golden teeth I have in his hands and walk out with the soup.
he's gonna look at it a little confused and be like, "All right, thank you."
He's enameled with it.
God, it's not bad. Everyone, roll a d4. Take that much
First-
in psychic damage.
First
Wait, I
time we're
thought I
taking
was
this
immune in
damage.
this campaign.
You thought wrong.
Not when it's that bad.
Oh my god.
Wow. That pun is
And
done.
it was clearly that bad.
Oh my god. Shalina roll 4.
Hold on. Sorry, I was answering my roommate.
No.
Aw.
It was her tooth after all.
She got away by the skin of her teeth.
God. You all want to roll another d4? More psychic
Taylor,
damage?
stop!
No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't. I guess they already
You're all level 8. It's fine. He pockets the money. He pockets the tooth. And he shakes Lithius's hand. And he's like, "You look very familiar. You one of Jay's men?"
Sorry,
For
I
familiar?
stood up for a second.
Oh.
Absolutely. Friend?
I guess more of like a work partner. How's he doing?
Well, I'm sorry to be the one to say this, but I'm here to report the shipment was a failure, and I'm not certain who has survived the endeavor.
Ah, shit. That's not great news. You guys had some of my whiskey and wine coming.
I mean, I saw the label on your casket back there. I'm glad we were able to make something at least.
That's true. Well, hoping he survives, though I know it's really hard to kill him.
The casket
Yeah.
of wine was dead on arrival.
Xerix already killed him.
I mean, Lithius, as far as he knows, was like Joff was the one that told him to fly and leave the ship. He didn't confirm death, didn't find his body or anything, but presumed dead.
Exactly. Don't lose hope yet. These men are strong. They may have found a way to the shore, but I could not see it.
Well, if you've been looking for another ship, I mean, you might want to check Joff's old hideout. Surely he'd always have a backup. Man was prepared like hell was coming the next day.
Don't I know it? There's always a secretive one, him. It'd certainly be a search to find his compound.
He looks at Xerix and he's like, you might already have someone who happens to know where it is.
Give a
What?
raised eyebrow to Xerix.
Xerix is ready to leave.
Xerix goes out the door.
He's already gotten daggers once from this guy.
It's true. Yeah. He shakes your hand again and bids you all farewell. Back to this map. Not that map. This map. There we are.
Is he alluding to the drug den?
I
Maybe.
think so. Wait, does Barrick know that I have that place?
Well, he was the one that sent you there.
To the drug den, but not to the warehouse, right?
Mm.
That was the warehouse. They're the same place.
Oh,
I asked Barrick about like where I can find some stuff to feel good, and he told me down
Yeah.
by the docks.
And he marked a place on the map, I think, for you.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize that the warehouse was the same place.
Yep.
Is this an out of character or in character conversation?
Out of character.
All
So
right,
with-
well, now Lithius is still giving Xerix the death glare as we exit.
Yeah. You guys had walked through the Wolf District, or did you walk like just around?
Probably just around, unless there's like a quick path through that's more direct.
We were told to just stay on the road and go straight to where we needed to go, so I think we would have done that.
Just gone.
How did you do that?
Something like that.
Sure.
How did you do that?
What?
Make the wavy thing.
Oh, I have it on Phil.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Just asking. Where are you guys headed?
To bed.
You're at Shady Shay right now. You're gonna go to the drug den?
I guess.
What do you want to do?
Well, no,
It's about
Xerix,
noon.
Xerix was gonna have a time in his own place, and he thought that they would stay at the pub, but now they have to come with him and to share
He
his stuff.
kicked us out.
You did claim they were your employees.
Yeah, to the guards, but not to everyone else.
That's true. I get you.
Yeah, we'll go to the warehouse.
Okay. The warehouse looked like a place.
Xerix
Sure
gets
hope
out
it did.
his giant ring of keys, starts slowly going through them.
As we leave,
Not this
if
one.
my thing is still active, I want to look at some of like the these heralds and marks.
You want to look at the herald marks?
Yeah, with the eye piece thing.
They look like the U plant.
It's a tree.
Clear this drug den here.
For reference, the drug den is the place that Bailey tried to blow up.
Yes.
You're really quiet all of a sudden.
It's the place that Bailey tried to blow up.
Oh yeah.
He'll close this door before they go in. I think he probably closed it before he left, but
Okay.
so he's just saying, "Yeah, this is my place. Hope it's okay. I left some stuff out. Just don't consume anything unless you want to feel real good for a short amount of time." Just nice shag carpet, some barrels to sit on,
Did you get rid of the dead cultists?
some tables to sleep on.
That cultist to munch on.
There somewhere. I still got the squid monster in the attic.
You really haven't had time to clean this place up at all.
I've spent one night here. And then we left the city.
It probably stinks.
Probably.
You
It
could have paid
smells.
someone to clean up.
I did tell you that I didn't have time. Like, seriously. You don't need to be judgmental about where you're staying. I'm being hospitable by allowing you to sleep here.
Well, thank you for the hospitality.
Yeah.
Nursing us back to health.
Yeah, Xerix, you had locked this place down. Gosh, this had all the old lighting effects.
Yeah.
Ugh, my doors. They're so dumb and simple.
Simple doors.
Okay. Yeah, you're back at the drug den.
Home sweet home.
Ayre, Geldloth, Xerix, you all know that this place is bigger, but it's up to you where you would like to sleep, or where Xerix lets you sleep.
You can open the drug vats as a spa.
Got a
But
nice
let me know.
mollusk massage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me
Chinese
know
section.
what you guys would like to do during this time. Like I said, it's about noon. So you go to sleep now. 8 hours. You'd probably wake up early in the morning.
Oh, in the morning?
Wouldn't you? 8 hours sleep, right?
Noon to
8 hours from noon is
morning?
8 p.m.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, just making sure because he's got a lot of plans for tonight.
Yeah. If you go to sleep now,
God.
it'd be 8 p.m.
If you go to sleep now, you'll miss the execution.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about my real life sleeping time.
Okay.
If I go to sleep now, I'll wake up at 4 in the morning.
Gross.
Well, like the time that he's not sleeping, Xerix will read his book.
Okay. if there's any other things you guys want to do. I know there was some items that you guys were wanting to get rid of. I don't know if you guys want to negotiate that with the party. Do a little, does anyone want this or whatever?
Xerix gave one cloak of protection to Geldloth.
Okay. But with that, you guys take a long rest. With that, we'll go back to, I guess, if there's anything you guys want to do. What is the next plan?
I think Xerix is gonna sneak into the crime scene. Ayre's going to question Colossus.
Let's split the party, everyone. All right, gang. Time to split up and look for clues.
I'll take
Okay.
the bedroom.
Fammal's gonna go to the mayor's place and kind of be like a lookout.
Okay. Let me move you guys to the map. And I'll mark where your tokens are. So,
I like how Colossus' token is so tiny.
so teeny tiny. Geldloth, what route are you taking?
Well, I would have after.
Or not Geldloth, excuse me, Xerix.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
To get to the
We will try to stay along the path. Actually, no. I think he'll swim. Because
you said
Oh dear.
he's swimming.
no, because well, I mean, as the warlock he is, he has stuff now. He can swim.
Wonder Twins activate shape of dolphin.
And I can breathe underwater.
Ooh, fantastic. Fammal, are you going to attempt to follow Xerix?
Hamill does not do a lot of swimming. They'll try to find their way over. They've never been here.
Okay.
So
Go ahead and give me a stealth check. If you're going along the route of just kind of following the coastline, you're going to give me a DC of 16.
Since Fammal is
well
helping,
then. Yeah, that sounds right.
since Fammal is helping Xerix, he's going to give them his ring of swimming, which gives a swimming speed of 40 feet. And it doesn't require
that's it.
attunement,
Hooray!
so you can follow if you need to.
Okay, then that brings your DC because you can't stay underwater the entire time. Go ahead and give me another stealth roll with advantage. Fantastic. Okay. As you guys are swimming along, you see that a lot of the docks are in pretty bad shape. The water is quite rough, with all of the rain and wind in the area. And you see a lot of the docks are like starting to go underwater. Like the water is rising. The coastline is rising. But you are able to get over here. Where are you exactly wanting to be? Are you wanting to be here or more here? Where's your landing point?
Probably as close to the citadel as we can. I don't know what Fammal is planning on for keeping an eye out. considering that Fammal's the only person who doesn't have their name in Xerix's book, he can't really talk to them. But
Yeah, Fammal's investigation is very, very low. So really, they were coming along to just kind of keep a lookout for guards and stuff.
Always handy to have a second hand. Okay. Lithius, Ayre, Geldloth, where are you guys headed?
After the sleeps, I would have tried to find a time when Ayre was not really with other people to ask her what was going on about yesterday when she was using the stone in the bar. Because I noticed she was acting weird when she activated it again.
Is before or after Ira goes to talk to Colossus?
I'll leave that up to you. If you want it to be before, if you want it to be after, go ahead and.
And we're all there in the same room, right?
Yeah. Xerix and Fammal left the drug den, but before Xerix closes the door, he's like, "Don't touch my stuff," and he closes the door. Xerix, did you lock the drug den with them inside?
You'll keep the.
Keep them safe.
I trust that they can take care of themselves, so I'll leave the front door unlocked, but I will lock the warehouse portion of it.
Okay. Lithius, clearly some kind of conversation is starting to go down. What are you wanting to do?
Has Lithius been to this city much before? Presume since the bartender didn't actually recognize me, I'm not a regular.
You're not a regular. You've probably been to this city maybe once, as part of Joff's crew. You mostly just stayed at the port, and you have never actually been at this facility, this drug den, as they call it, this abandoned warehouse.
Well, it probably skews me out. Maybe I will just go to the port and try and find a familiar face.
Okay. Surely you still have that map somewhere. Okay. Okay. You see that the ports are usually around here in this area. It is evening and there is a greater guard presence about. Are you wanting to stealth, or are you just kind of walking with purpose, like you belong?
I'll probably walk with purpose.
Okay.
Lithius probably thinks they do have purpose.
Go ahead and give me performance. Give me a performance roll. Let's go ahead and say that you have advantage, as you feel pretty comfortable around docks. You know how docks work. You know that there's boats. You see that the water's rising. You can tell that there's you can always act like you're repairing something.
I do. Oh, I guess it didn't roll. Oh, there we go. Just took a while.
Perfect. Some guards kind of eye you, and you immediately pick up a net and you go towards the next dock. You wave at them and you start doing your ritual of blending in. You're in your element, as it were. You don't see a lot of sailors out and about. And you can tell a lot of the boats they've been here for a while. Some of them are starting to show signs of damage just from sitting in the water. A lot of barnacle buildup on the bottoms. And the sails seem to be a different color. They seem to be growing some sort of mold or algae from all of the rain and humidity.
Okay. I think I'll just keep walking further down the docks then until I see someone.
Okay. Make your way to the docks district. Let's go to Ayre, Kalas, and Geldloth. Ayre, who are you wanting to have a conversation with first?
Can I tell that Geldloth wants to talk to me?
Geldloth, are you trying to make it pretty noticeable that you want to have a conversation as soon as you get up in the morning? Or are you letting her kind of do her rituals and everything?
I don't know. Just I don't know. Whenever I think it's kind of a slightly more private time to not draw attention. I don't know. I don't know how soon everyone else left or whatever, but I don't know. Early, but not immediately. I don't know.
I'll leave it up to you, Ayre. If it was immediate that you needed to talk to Kalas as soon as everyone left, or if you're trying to be you're trying to give it time and trying to find a time to make it happen.
I would still do everything that I would normally do when I first get up. And just kind of be observant of what other people are doing. And then redo my spells. So give me a second for that.
Okay. Then we will go to just to give you time and to give you to figure out who you want to talk to first. We'll go to Xerix and Fammal. You guys have made it to the dock. You see the tall castle up ahead of you. You can tell there is a heavy guard presence here. But some good stealthing, you'll be able to bypass them.
Yeah. I'm not sure how confident you are with your silence, but I'm going to make my way up. If you want to join me, that's up to you, but I
could be pretty sneaky when I want to be.
Okay. Then we try and find a good position to scale the wall, I guess.
Okay.
'Cause we're not going in the front.
Then I'm going to ask for 2 rolls. The first roll is stealth. Your DC is 12. The second roll is athletics to scale the wall, and that DC is 15.
Okay. I have boots of elven kind. so I have advantage on stealth.
Okay. Nice. You are both so stealthy.
And
Blend into the dark.
athletics, I'm not so good on.
I do have a rope. Can I throw that down?
Yeah. So Xerix, go ahead and give that athletics another roll with that help action. That rope.
Where is it?
Fantastic.
Oh,
With the help of Fammal nimbly blends into the darkness and is able to quickly scale the wall. Xerix, you are finding yourself you're struggling a little bit trying to scale this. You didn't realize how steep it is. And then you see a rope descend down next to you. You grab it. You're feeling a little grateful to have the help. But you both make it to the walkway of the castle. And you see that the mayor's office is just a floor above you.
So is there some kind of window or is there a balcony?
You are on a
the-
balcony.
Okay.
And you are able to, there is a window that is open. That's a pretty large, what are they called? I don't remember what they're called, but it's like a glass window it's basically like a doorway, like a giant window, that you could try and open up and go through.
So you said it was on the floor above us?
Yeah. You can tell that there is, you guys were able to scale up pretty high, and you can tell that the mayor's office is on the next floor. Well, you can. Fammal doesn't know, but you know, because you've been here several times before.
And is there a window to that office?
To the mayor's office?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Xerix will look up and see the mayor's office through this window and cast Misty Step into the office.
Okay. Xerix is gonna go. Let me prep a little bit.
Everything good?
Okay. And Fammal is, unless Fammal knows Misty Step, Fammal, you see Xerix look up, and then just disappear.
He will then look at the window down at Fammal and telepathically say, if the anyone just howl like a wolf.
I give double thumbs up.
Okay. Xerix, you're going here. There we go.
Howling sounds like a terrible idea. I might send Mage Hand to wave him down.
Okay. There's Xerix, and we'll go back to the map. Ayre, Geldloth, have you figured out who's talking to who what first?
Ira, I'm guessing at some point in getting ready for the morning, Ira will notice that Jim wants to talk to her. And just kind of like sit everyone down, I guess. Like make sure everyone's sitting down, like all of us together.
Who are you asking to sit down with you?
Well, there's only 3 of us there,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
All 3 of us then. And she will pull out her gem. And just be like, you know, yesterday when we were talking to Barrick, he said he was sure that we would have vetted our new friends. And I let him look through this and looked at him through this to make sure he was who he said he was. You heard me explain how it works, yes?
Yeah. I understood that, you explained to him, and it was to give him a sense of safety.
Yes, well, I will activate it and look through it at both of them.
Okay.
And just be like, perhaps we should all take a look. And she will, I guess, hand it first to Geldloth.
Okay.
And then motion for him to hand it to Kalas when he's done.
Geldloth, you look through the stone, and you look at Ayre, and Ayre looks like Ayre. And you look through to Kalas, and you see there is a haziness about her. There is like heat waves distorting her appearance. It still looks like her, but it is clearly some sort of magical illusion that's being held.
And as Kalas, when Kalas looks through it, I will be like, you say you are a friend of my sister and you have helped us so far, so I will give you the benefit of the doubt. But what exactly is going on here? And then I will cast Zone of Truth.
Okay. Kalas, has a sense of bit of confusion. And she says,
Look at yourself as well.
she looks through the stone, she tries to look, and she's like, it's something that I'm hiding, but it's not what you think. And know that I mean you no harm. And she leaves it at that. You're welcome to ask more questions.
Why are you hiding it? What is there to hide from us? If you mean us no harm.
I mean you no harm, but I can't say I trust every person I meet and how I appear. I frighten others when they see me based off of my appearance. And being in a new place I am not familiar with, I am trying to protect myself and those that I travel with so that they're not afraid. Not everyone is as trusting as you all, especially you all from the mainland.
Delta and I are not from the mainland.
But you were raised there. You understand the customs and the cultures of the many people from the mainland. And even then, on the mainland, there is still racism. There is still distrust towards some of us. And the more human we look, the safer we are.
So you do not look human then?
Not as human as I'd like.
I will look at Jim and just give him a long look. Does he say anything?
No, he doesn't immediately have any questions.
Then she would turn back to Colossus and be like, for the sake of trust then, in this private space, perhaps you would allow us to see yourself briefly as you truly are? And I can confirm with the stone that that is all
Okay.
that you are hiding.
She looks at both of you and she says, I suppose it's fine if you see. But again, know that I mean you no harm. I can't help the way I look or why I'm here. But know that I just want to protect you. Or Delta. And we're gonna go to Xerix. Xerix, you are in the mayor's office. You see that it has been cleaned. Go ahead and roll an investigation for me if there's things that you want to search for, though. Okay.
He wants to look for signs of foul play. He's been in here before, so he kind of knows the general layout, but he wants to look for anything they missed when they cleaned, or
Okay.
any kind of notes or parchment that has plans. Evil plans.
So You see with this investigation, you see where you can tell that there is a new chair where the mayor had sat previously. But below it, you can tell that the floor is much lighter in color than the rest of the boards. You can tell that they used a lot of cleaning and scrubbed it very hard to get the blood out. You investigate the desk and you look underneath the desk and you see signs of blood splatter on like the bottom of the desk part. And with that investigation roll, you see a small hole in the center below the desk.
I guess you'll. Does it look like a keyhole?
Almost like a keyhole. Not like a normal, I would say that the key probably looks like the hole looks. It's in this shape. Get a drawing tool. Like that. But it's about the size of a pushpin head.
He'll take out his thieves' tools and stick it in there.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand.
I'm gonna use my inspiration for that.
Okay.
Fuck.
Your pin breaks. Or I would say that maybe it doesn't break, but it bends out of shape. But you hear a click. And one of the drawers of the desk, you hear a sound.
He will go to the drawer and he will look for like any kind of wire trap or indication that maybe something is guarding this secret drawer.
Okay. With that investigation roll, you do not see any kind of trap, but you do see that there seems to be a loose panel on the top part. And you can tell with sliding it, if you put your hand underneath it and you slide it towards you, you will remove that loose panel.
Secret on secret. Yeah. He'll remove the panel and see what's underneath.
Okay. As you remove the panel, you see a small leather-bound journal fall out into the drawer. And in this journal, you see that it is the mayor's personal notes. The final pages talk about his investigation into the temple and into the MacLear plan, or the MacLear clan, as well as all the other clans. And you see he has circled the MacLear name multiple times in his notes. Specifically, Simon, the head priest. You see that in his notes he talks about something seems to be happening at the temple, but he doesn't have authority to investigate the temple. And he has sent multiple agents to go and investigate secretly, and spies, and they have converted somehow. And you see a note in there about Tara MacLear, and how she promised to go and talk to the head of the clan, of the MacLear clan. and how she was to be coming to his office for a meeting on what she had discovered. And that's the final entry.
As he's reading this, he's probably on his knees on the floor with the journal open. He'll take out his Book of Shadows and conjure his mage hand to start writing a message to Geldloth, using the sending spell of this information, just so if something happens to him, that he'll know it too.
Okay.
Breaking news. This just in.
Not Geldloth. Xerix, as you finish reading this journal, you start to hear voices outside of the room, coming up the hallway, and you hear a familiar voice that you're pretty sure was the assistant, and you hear a woman's voice, but you can't make out what they say. But you can tell that they're coming towards you. They're getting louder and louder.
Okay. He'll send his mage hand to see if he can lock the door of the mayor's office if it is not already locked. While doing so, he will put everything back where it goes. Put the journal in the hidden compartment, slot it with the secret panel, close the door, or close the drawer, and attempt to fiddle with the pinhole again to see if he can lock it or something, if necessary.
Your tool that you would use to open it is broken. You're finding that you're having a harder time with it, but do you have another tool? You have a few more of those?
We determined that I have 10 lockpicks in a whatever it's called.
Set.
Yes. So I've used 2 already that have broken. I have 8 left.
Okay.
So I'll use a third.
Okay. Go ahead and give me that sleight of hand.
That's better.
Fantastic. You were able to quickly and quietly put everything away. And you hear the click, and the pin doesn't break. But you're still in the room. What are you gonna do?
Do another quick search, just before he leaves, because actually,
you see,
no. He's gonna look for a cabinet, or if he can hide somewhere before he makes his leave. So he wants to listen in on any conversation if somebody comes in here and talks.
okay. In this room, there is a very small cabinet, more like a not quite a nightstand, slightly bigger than a nightstand. You could maybe fit in there. There is also a chimney. And there is a small balcony on the outside of the window, though the window is not openable.
He will hide in the chimney and then cast minor illusion to put a barrier so it looks like nobody's in there while he hides behind it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll stealth for me with advantage. As you hear a and the door
And
starts
dismiss
to
my mage
open.
hand.
Yes. Okay. And you see these 2 people walk in. And you see Victoria standing at the door. And Yostin comes in and is like, Victoria, it's going to be fine. I expect the entire city guard and the help of the temple guard to give the best utmost secure, professional abilities for tomorrow. The criminal has been sentenced. This will all be over soon. And you hear Victoria's like, I don't know, sir. I still feel that it is dangerous for you to want to go tomorrow. I don't think it's a good idea. The people are angry, they're confused. We're still dealing with the repercussions of the riots from the dismissed workers. I don't think you should go tomorrow. Yostin says, it'll be fine. I will go. I will give a speech, rallying cry to the people, and we'll be done with this. You can go, Victoria. I will see you tomorrow. Victoria's like, all right, sir. She turns around and leaves the room. And you don't see, with you being in the chimney, Xerix, but you hear Yostin say, you hear him take steps towards the window. You hear him say, it'll all be done tomorrow. And then it begins. Tomorrow's going to be fun. He's going to be so happy. And we'll end it there.
Ah.
Xerix pushes him out the window.
Jesus. Not on my watch. No, go, go, go.
I see the marker of shove, how far it goes outside the castle. Like
Gotta
Baldur's
break the
Gate.
window first.
Thunder arrows.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta use the thunder arrows.
I'll
Mom
break
just
the
starts
window with his
howling
body.
at the top of their lungs.